Blackmore, Greyhawk, and Eldritch Wizardry.
I'm a 10th level paladin, and I get 10 attacks per round, correct?
Well, there's 2 different ways we can go about that.
Oh,
we can continue to use chainmail, where you get 10 attacks.
Yeah.
Or we can use the alternate combat system, which uses these. Instead of the 2d6, this is a 20-sided die. We used it for saving throws only last time. But with the alternate system, you don't really have to bother with the miniatures. It all takes place in your head, man. So that's one way the game changes with the new books. We have some new classes you can play. You can be a thief. You can be a paladin, because we've got a paladin at the table. You can be a druid, which is kind of a woodland priest. They can't wear armor like the cleric can. They can only wear leather. They can only use a specific kind of weapons, but they get some pretty cool abilities. They can change into a mammal or a reptile or a bird once a day each.
I think you should try it.
So, you cast the spell. The drawbridge gives a creak and starts going clank, 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 clank.
Run back downstairs.
So you start running back downstairs. The drawbridge is coming down.
All right. As soon as I can judge the jump, I'm jumping onto the damn drawbridge and running inside the gatehouse.
Okay. You leap, get on the drawbridge, and start running downward as it continues its fall. And then I suppose stops and starts back up again.
I start cranking it back up again.
All right. As you're doing that, you run in.
There's the wagon.
Right.
You got to get around the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Now spot that door shut, so we can't get in that door.
And that is when you spot the temple. It's like right here in front of you.
Right.
You know, just on the other side of the gatehouse, there's a 10-foot space. You know, there's courtyard here. The temple is right in front of you. And the 2 big wooden doors of the temple are pushed open. And 3 really nasty-looking warrior types in armor come walking out. Each of them has a very broad-bladed, heavy sword, and they're looking around trying to figure out what's going on.
All right. I have a question.
Yes.
So in this gatehouse, which I am trapped,
You're not trapped.
Oh, I'm not.
No, you could exit the gatehouse if you want to.
As far as I know, the drawbridge is still going up.
Yeah, the
And
drawbridge
he's
is still
to get there.
But you don't know that I'm on the other side of it. You can hear me in there turning the gears, but you don't know it's me.
All right. I suppose if I have the chance to stay hidden, I shall.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my hide in shadows roll.
Got it.
I am
It's
rolling
pretty shadowy in that. What's the
Indeed
name
it
of that
is.
the
structure?
2d10.
Gatehouse, I guess.
Gatehouse?
Well, no, there's a particular word for
I have rolled a 40.
Bailey?
No.
I have rolled a 43. And my hide in shadows is a 75. I am good.
All right. You fade into the shadows as they come walking out. As they see the drawbridge going up, one of them gives an order in a really curious language. And the one on his
Teacher
right...
from Charlie Brown.
Yeah. So...
That would be a croak.
But wise. Okay.
Show
One of them peels off and heads straight into the gatehouse.
Jawohl. I am
Now,
going to...
you would be seeing all this too.
I am hopping into the back of the wagon.
I'm waiting for my next action.
All right. He walks up and throws his hand up against the door on the left side of the gatehouse, and it doesn't go.
I hear that.
Yeah, you hear him thud.
Okay.
Like he hit it like he expected it to just swing open, and it doesn't.
All right, so the drawbridge is like halfway up, halfway down?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll jam it with the chain, and I'm going to run upstairs.
All right. He reaches back and slams it again with the heel of his hand, and then shifts grip on his sword and pounds it with the pommel.
All right. I get upstairs.
And that is not going to happen. So he's pounding on the door.
I'm
but
going
he
to
can't
dump
get it
some
open.
fire on him.
Oh!
There's probably a murder hole right there above the door.
That's where I'd put one.
So I would put one.
All right. So you're in the shadows when you see like flaming pitch come down, the guy starts screaming.
This is like one of them movie scenes where the guy's like running out. He's got the fire suit on.
All right, so I am now vomiting in Zabaka's wagon.
The other two guys come running in. They're looking around. One of them looks up and grabs the other one and like pulls him back for a second.
Just when I was dropping one of them there heavy.
Make an attack
ball.
roll.
So I'm gonna roll a ball down on him.
Wait, what do you need? Okay.
19.
Yeah, I'm not even going to look up the mod for that. Yeah, that hits. So this heavy, like 16-pound shot drops and slams into the guy as his ally's trying to pull him out of the way and drives him to the ground. There's a crunching sound.
Then I'm gonna dump some fire down in there. How many fire pots do I got?
There's 2 more.
All right, so I've used 2 and there's 2
You've
more.
used 2 and there's 2 more.
All right.
So as he's trying to push himself up, he's favoring one arm that looks like it's not working quite right.
Yeah.
And then
Nice.
there is a general alarm kind of being passed. And you hear all these voices, but there's also a lot of confusion and people not quite sure what's going on. The more savvy of the two, the one that's not on fire, he is now very aware of where the murder holes are, and he backs himself up against a wall and gives a shout in that same curious, croaking language. And then he reaches his hand out, and you see the ring on his finger kind of glint, and there's some movement deep in the temple, like way back, and you see eyes, like these glowing yellow eyes. What are you doing?
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna wait.
What are you?
While this is going on,
Yes.
after there's a drawbridge for him,
Mm-hmm.
my intention was to go down
Okay.
and join him. How far did I get?
All right.
You see me in the room.
Yeah, you would come down to the second floor, and you would spot him, like, making work of these guys.
I would be expecting him eventually, or her. I'm
Her.
sorry. All right, so they're going to be attacking this place pretty soon. Maybe we should leave.
I have a question. So, the fellow who is in the gatehouse with me,
Yes.
did he's looking at the wagon now. There's no way to be clever or tricksy and get up behind him because his back is to the wall now.
Yes. He's alert and aware. You would need to distract him somehow.
Is he hurt?
He is not. His allies are dead.
I would think that them horses, once them fire starts coming,
You're right. The horses
they
are pretty
can be cloppity.
spooked.
So that wagon's
Oh,
probably.
That is an excellent point.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
I
are like
didn't-
being.
The horses attempt to draw the wagon inside the keep and actually start to head straight into the temple because it's got that wide of a doorway, and then the horses spot what's coming out of the temple and try to push backward, but now they're backing a wagon, and things just got even more confusing.
All right.
I'm still in the back of the wagon.
What would you like to do, back of the wagon?
If I jump out now, I might break my neck.
You might.
So, all right. Do I see any other soldiers in the courtyard?
There are a few starting to muster into the courtyard areas on the left and the right of the temple, but they're not quite sure where they should be going.
Am I swung close to a wall by the trailers, wagons, gyrations?
You can be close to a wall if you need to be.
All right. I would like to jump and climb if I can.
Make your climbing check.
Yep.
A thief's climbing ability is very, very impressive.
Yes, it is 96%, and my dice are 6. So I have made the climb.
You can scramble up. Where are you heading? The second floor landing or all the way to the top of the wall?
I should go to the second floor landing,
Okay.
because then I can at least get hidden again.
All right. The interior landing on the gatehouse has a wall built in such a way that people standing on the landing can fire arrows down into the courtyard.
Yeah. All right. So I start picking off people in armor.
Okay. Does he see us in there? Or
Yes,
is it
yeah,
lit?
yeah.
The doors.
So we're up in the room, right?
He
You're
just
on the
climbed up
second
to-
floor.
Yeah.
We're
So-
not where he is.
Yeah.
There is an open doorway. They wouldn't have had any reason to have it closed. And inside, you can see that defensive works where the pitch and everything else and the shot and things
He's
are.
on another level, though, right?
No,
he's
no.
down.
No, he's
here
on the second floor.
Climb
with
up.
us.
You're on the second floor. Yes.
So
He
the-
just climbed up to the second floor.
Got you.
All right.
I haven't seen
And the
him.
temple with the glowing eyes that I haven't forgot about.
That's behind this gatehouse.
I don't know anything
But
about
before
no
I-
glowing eyes coming out of a temple.
Before I start sniping people off, I'm going to secure my environment, and so I'm going to pop my head back in and see if I'm going to be swarmed by frog soldiers.
In the
Oh,
room.
notice him?
Oh, hello, hello.
Holy hell.
So good to see you again. I'm going to start murdering people. If you would like to join me.
Well, okay, but I think we ought to get out of here. Maybe you might want to take a couple shots and then leave. I'm going to run along the parapet and draw their fire. So I'm going to. So you stay here. You make your all's plan, but I'm going to be running around dragging them after me. So I run out onto the curtain wall,
Excellent.
and then I'm running along the curtain wall in the moonlight with my sword drawn and my armor. And I'm like just trucking along. So curtain wall goes around to the back of the temple.
Indeed, it does. It goes all the way around the temple.
All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all the way around to the back, and I'm going to have drawn these people with me.
So is there an endless barrage of people responding to a general alarm coming to kill us now at this point?
There's quite a few, yes.
Okay.
So the curtain wall goes all the way around the temple, but does not actually contact the temple at
Fine,
any
that's
point.
all right.
The
There's gotta be a
building
way
is in the
down
center.
somewhere, yeah.
Yes, each of the towers has stairways.
Right.
And located at the top of these towers, and every 25 feet along the wall, they've got ballistae.
Oh, well, I'm going to go.
They're not currently manned.
Right, so I'm going to go up to the first ballistae,
All right.
and I'm going to break it.
Okay.
Then I'm going to run down. I'm going to go to the second ballistae, and I'm going to man it.
Between your magic sword and your strength, it's no problem to disable one of these ballista.
All right.
So you smash one, make it to the next one, and start loading a bolt. They've got a barrel with bolts conveniently right next to. So what are you doing?
I'm making. Now I'm looking over. I'm looking while I'm running. Now are they seeing me? Are they coming after me? I'm
They
like
see-
clank, 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 clank. Right.
They see you moving, but they've got armored people amongst their number. They're not quite sure who the friends or foes are at this point.
All right.
I'm going to see if there's anyone who looks like an officer or a magician.
You see a couple of each.
Yeah.
What's your idea?
All right. I'm going to put an arrow into one of the magicians. All right. This is my dice roll.
You are going for armor class 9.
Thank you.
While they're doing this, I'm going to try to slip in amongst the foes.
I rolled an 8. My
To
target's a
climb
2.
down.
That's a hit. Roll damage,
thinking.
please.
All right. This is my damage roll, and it is a 4.
All right. The first arcane-looking robed individual goes down with the arrow. Thwack! Thump. All right. You are trying to get down amongst...
Yeah, unnoticed. Yes.
All right. There's enough confusion where you have a fair chance. Roll a 6-sider for me.
Sure.
And you are wearing one of the rings, yes?
And one of their cloaks. 5.
Excellent. All right, so while you're getting that ballista loaded, you start moving down among them, and one of the ones that looks like they're sort of in charge. This one, like a couple of the other soldiers, are wearing full armor, not bothering to hide it, and looks over in your direction and says, "You."
Yes.
I haven't seen you around before. Which division are you with?
I'm not assigned to any particular division.
His eyes narrow. Are you a spellcaster?
Indeed, I get sent to take care of things from time to time.
He says, what have you seen? What's going on?
Oh, just a couple of rabble-rousers. Petty thieves, probably. I was about to dispatch them myself.
He points at the big scorched black spot on the ground and says, petty thieves did this?
Yes, even gnats can get lucky sometimes.
He says, are you quite certain? I want the truth. Make a save versus spell.
2.
Oh, okay. The
That's
ring,
good, though. It's low.
you have to roll over the save. What's your saving throw number?
Oh.
Yeah.
Versus spell.
Versus spell.
Yeah, 12.
All right. The ring on your finger feels oddly cold and compels you to tell him the truth.
What do I say?
What do you say?
So the last thing he asked me was...
He asked, what is going on here? I want the truth.
Well, the two of them are here to try to steal some gold. That's the truth.
He says, and how do you know this? And how do you know there are only two of them?
I walked among them. Also the truth.
He says, a spy, eh?
I told you, I get sent to take care of things.
He says, and you will recognize them if you see them?
Oh, absolutely.
He says, find them. Find them before the priest comes up from the catacombs and deals with these things himself.
Can I hear this conversation? Or too far away? Bet you can hear it though.
You can hear it. Yeah, you're too far away.
And I'm kinda
but you're
quiet back there.
this is your business. You can hear it.
Yeah.
You can hear it,
Mhm.
right? So, well, let's finish this up first, okay? So, no, I'll get right on it. I'd like to find a way to wink at him without this guy noticing.
If I'm watching the whole scene, I will see it.
Okay. You guys have adventured together long enough. I'm gonna
This is not the first time
allow that you have a little bit of nonverbal communication going on.
Yeah. All right. I have no way of winking back. But am I close to something flammable or someone I can wound?
Well, I mean, there's 2 more buckets of flaming pitch inside the building behind you.
So I'm curious. This man who she is speaking with, are there any other soldiers right there next to him?
There are a couple. They're just waiting for him to finish his conversation. This guy looks like he's one of their leadership.
So, can I see him as well? Is he gone?
He ran down the wall, and you kind of lost track.
All right. I walk over to him like this.
So what are you going to do with that ballista?
Well, what can I shoot at?
Down into the courtyard, there are a number of soldiers. There's a couple of obvious officers. There's there's an individual that is weaving some sort of magic.
That's exactly what I'm going to shoot at.
Okay.
So I guess I got to aim it up.
Yeah, just crank.
10.
10.
Plus 3. Well, I don't get a bonus. Plus 1. I guess I get a plus 1, so that's 11.
11, that's fine. So...
To hit armor class 10, I only need a 1.
What's your character's name?
So, you just pinned this caster to the outside wall of the temple.
Cool.
Shock him.
I'll start loading up another one.
All right. That caused some alarm, and one of the officers looks up and then points, and some bows start coming out.
I gotta get to him.
However, nothing, carry the nothing. All right. So arrows are starting to hit.
Yeah.
But
you've
got the cover of the ballista itself.
Yes.
I'm going to... All right, so while they are all focusing on him,
Yeah.
Who is the fellow who is furthest to the back?
There's a couple of mook soldiers in the back.
I'm going to snipe one of them off.
Oh,
Give it a shot.
I'm coming at you like I'm going to attack you. Remember that.
All
Oh,
right.
well, you know, well, he's upstairs. He's on the second floor.
Here's my roll. I don't know what armor class, and I need to
He was
hit.
still on the for the mook soldier AC 5.
Oh, so I have to go back upstairs?
You would have to find him.
I have failed. I have missed.
You
All
can't-
right.
I've nailed the door shut, so you can't really just go upstairs. You'd go try the door, you can, I guess, walking around the fire pots.
All right. So, you put an arrow down and it clangs off the armor of the soldier.
I'm immediately moving.
All right. The officer that you were talking to looks up and spots, the person with the bow, and says, "That's one of them?"
Is it? Yeah. Yes, I'll take care of it.
He says, "Enough of this." He starts walking towards the gatehouse. What are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
Uh-oh. Without lube, even. Okay.
He's walking away and not expecting it.
But you are too.
All right. The hulking dude that is storming towards the gatehouse suddenly glows, reduces in size, and starts yipping as he becomes a Yorkshire Terrier.
So can I see that from my ballista position?
Yes. From where he was standing, you can see that happen.
Okay. Now is somebody drawing a sword?
Oh
on
yeah,
her?
the soldiers that were standing around are starting to come in
I'm
at
gonna
her.
pick one of them off then.
All right, go for it.
I hit 18.
Okay, that one's dead. Yeah, it's a ballista. I'm not going to bother with damage.
Okay.
So one of the soldiers just gets taken off his feet by a siege bolt. What are you doing?
I think I'm going to find my way to the closest one of those that works. Is there only one left?
No, they're every 25 feet along the wall.
I'm going to get to the closest one, and I'm going to man it myself.
So you come out to the left and grab the first ballista and start to man it. Soldiers are coming in on you, and 3 of them are going to get to swing before the round is over, because you just turned their boss into a doll.
I have no chance to react? Okay.
All right,
'Cause I have
miss.
an action.
Good
Took one of
lord.
them off.
2 2s and a 9. The 9 might possibly maybe hit, because you are AC 10. Nope, it misses just barely. So these 3 guys are like, and they start swinging, and you just sort of step out of the way.
You're going to love this. I won't even write it down.
Okay, new initiative, you roll this time.
All right.
They got a 6.
4.
All right, your team goes first. Archery,
Archery.
Okay.
then magic.
Then magic.
So I can load one of these per round?
One shot per round with your strength.
Okay.
Someone with what is your strength?
Mine is a 14.
So it's going to take you a round between shots, because you're not quite
Oh my.
buff enough to crank this thing back in a single round.
How far away is he from me?
He's on the opposite, well, on one of the adjacent walls. So he's probably a good 5, 10, 20, 30, about 60 feet if you travel along the top of the wall.
No matter.
All right, you get your shot though.
Okay, I got a loaded missile here. Now,
do.
the front of the temple is behind the front of the temple.
Yes, someone would have to
obliquely-
come a fair amount out for you to clear it.
Yeah. And there's no doors down off the side here. I'm looking to see if there's any side doors to the temple.
No, you'd have to get to. No, there's only one door that you can see at all, and that's on the front of the temple.
It's on the front of the temple.
And to get down from the wall, unless you plan on jumping or using a rope or something, the stairways are in the towers.
Okay. Well, I'm going to shoot a ballista at the next magic user.
Sure.
Is there another magic user out there?
Yes.
All right. Bam. 6. 7. I'm sure.
So does that hit AC 9? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
hits.
just need a 1.
All right, so you skewer another wizard. The two others that are wearing robes without armor seem to think the better of this and start heading towards the front of the temple.
Right.
At this point, these large 2-foot frogs start hopping out of the front of the temple and looking around.
What I like to do, well, fellas, list is getting small, but I still got some cherries in there. So let's see. I think I would like to know the limitations. Play it to DM. What are the limitations on polyself?
Anything you desire, but you will not thereby acquire the combat abilities of that thing. You can turn yourself into a dragon, but you won't have the ability to fight or breathe. But you can fly.
So no combat abilities.
Right, you would have your own combat abilities, but like if you polymorphed into something with wings, you could fly.
But like a bear, I couldn't use the claws.
Yes, but you'd be rolling to attack with your own combat skill, which isn't horrible. You are a wizard, but you're a 10th level wizard, so you are more competent than these first level soldiers. Now their officers are probably tougher.
You just
But the bulk of these soldiers are here, have a spear. You know.
Do I notice anything up upon the parapets? Like I know he's shooting basically large bolts, right? So do I notice anything up in the parapets which would give me the upper hand?
I mean, any of these siege weapons you could use.
Anyone that's unmanned or
There's several unmanned ones.
any unmanned ones where I could be in sight of these 4 guys that just tried to attack me?
Well,
Sure.
I think one of them isn't one of them dead, or he's still being attacked by those 4 dudes.
The point I'm trying to make is I'm wanting to. So I have teleport, and
I'd say you teleport the hell out of there. That's what I say.
I can teleport up to the parapet and be ready to shoot these guys with a big bolt.
I'd
That
be
would
shooting the
fun.
frogs. Is what I'd be doing.
That would be fun.
So I'll do that.
All right, so you want to teleport up to the parapets?
Yes.
All right.
Cool.
You're now on top of the wall, and they're like, where did she go? So now you guys have a moment to take stock of what's going on. The confusion is starting to clear up. They figured out that whoever's attacking them is up there somewhere, but they haven't quite figured out what to do about it. The courtyard is rapidly clearing. A lot of the soldiers are heading for the towers, which probably means they're heading for the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys like to do next?
Well, what about them frogs? What are them giant frogs doing?
The frogs are spreading out all around the temple, and they seem to be looking.
I'm going to shoot one of them frogs.
Okay. Don't even bother rolling because there's a whole shitload of them.
Ooh, how many is a shitload?
Probably about 30, 40.
30
With
frogs?
fangs, right?
Yeah, they're 2 feet, 2.5 feet long
Ooh, screw that.
with fangs.
I don't like the odds on this.
Polyself into a giant hedgehog. No. No?
I don't know. I
Natural
mean,
predators, they eat frogs, so I'm just thinking.
you could do that. I'd say go for it.
Okay. So, the frogs, so you do not shoot a frog.
I'm shooting who's ever running up to my door, to my tower.
Okay, go for it. That we can do.
16.
That's going to take that guy out.
Okay.
All right. So, things are clearing. And all of a sudden, all of you that are still wearing the rings,
Yeah.
the rings start to feel cold on your fingers, and you hear a voice speaking in your head.
Say.
I'm not one of these people.
And it says, you idiots. You can accomplish nothing. I will deal with this now.
All right, well, I'm just going to load up another...
Hey,
Bull.
I think we should run now.
Are you yelling at me across the
Are you?
castle?
I say, hoping the voice in my head can hear me.
Are you saying, yeah, run?
Oh.
No.
It says, oh, Has one of my assailants decided to investigate their ring? How fortunate for me. So you take the ring off?
Huh?
You take the ring off?
I think he's about to attack me.
All right. So you take the ring off and toss it away.
You toss it away?
Or
Well,
that
on
was
the ground.
that was the motion that I
Yeah,
saw.
on the ground.
All right. So you take the ring off and toss it away. At that point, a couple of the frogs on the ground look up and seem like they're seeing you for the first time.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
They start hopping towards the wall. All right. You two.
How close am I to the gatehouse?
You're still standing on the porch outside the gatehouse, aren't you?
Am I really? All right.
Well, I'm sorry. You went to the first ballista. So you're about 25 feet from the gatehouse.
All right.
I had forgotten.
I'm going to go
You
back.
have a loaded ballista now, though.
I do. All right. So just quickly, I'm going to spare a glance for the courtyard. Do I see any more of these officer of wizard types?
So,
Or anyone in heavy armor?
the courtyards have started to clear, as I said. Everyone seems to be going for either diving into the temple or heading for the towers. At the far end of the wall, you see a group is assembling on top of one of the other towers, and it seems to be a couple of the heavily armored officers and some of the more experienced warriors. You don't see any of the low-rent guys. They seem to be putting together a team of their troubleshooters.
All right. Well, thank you for mentioning troubleshooting because I'm going to send a bolt their way.
Okay.
Boing!
Please make an attack roll.
All right. I don't know what my target is going to be, so here's my roll. My roll is only a 9.
All right. What do you need to hit armor class 5 at medium range?
An 8.
An 8. All right. So you just put a bolt into one of the guys assembling on the roof.
Knocked him off the roof, I
He
bet.
gives the Wilhelm scream and goes off the tower. All of them drop.
Marvelous.
They all drop and hunker behind the walls, except one
Right.
of the officers who grabs a bolt and starts to load the ballista on that tower.
Yeah.
What are you two doing?
Oh. Well,
The frogs climbing up towards.
They are.
I'm gonna
I'm-
shoot one of them frogs.
if I can,
6, 7 to hit armor. I hit armor class 5 at least.
That's fine. So one of the lead frogs.
Okay.
I realize what I've just done.
No, loading up now.
So I pick up the ring. I
Okay.
do not put it back on.
All right.
I put it in my pocket.
Okay.
And I probably have to wait another action to cast a spell.
Yes. So the frogs, the lead couple of frogs that didn't just get skewered by a ballista bolt, reach the top of the wall, and now they're just looking at you. They're just sitting there staring with these yellow eyes. All right. So let's do an initiative roll.
All right.
Yeah.
You hadn't rolled yet, so go ahead and roll a d6.
Yeah.
1.
Oh,
Nice.
your party goes first.
Yay.
So ranged attacks, you've got a ballista bolt. You're reloading, right?
Actually,
Or not.
I would like to run away now.
Okay, where to? Into the gatehouse or down the wall?
Into the gatehouse, I think.
Okay.
You don't know that the door's been locked shut. So with my ballista, I guess I can't shoot over the temple. I can't shoot.
Like across the temple is blocking your way.
Yeah. So what? There's the gatehouse. I can shoot at the gatehouse,
You can shoot at the gatehouse.
and I can also shoot one of these frogs that are staring down
You
the mage.
could.
That's what I'm gonna do. 13 knocked him.
Knock them home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that frog's taking a flight.
Right.
He's going for a ride.
Lands in the moat.
Hang on, lady. We go for a wide. All right, so you're running.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
I'm testing theory, which could be wrong.
All
which
right.
is, if I were to put the ring back on, right, does it let them know I'm one of them, or does it make me invisible? It seems like it makes me invisible to them. It's like a protective mechanism. They give the acolytes the rings so the frogs don't attack them. I'm not putting it on because I don't want it to be invisible. Instead, I'm going to poly self right in front of them into one of them.
Whoa. So you put the ring on, then you poly self into a frog?
I'm saying that I believe if I put the ring on, that'll give me away more than if I don't put the ring on. Because putting the ring on, I believe, is only so their own acolytes don't get attacked by the frogs.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave the ring off because I want them to be aware of me, and I'm going to poly self into one of them.
Ah, I see.
Into a frog.
Excellent. All right, make your system shock roll and
Come on, baby. Come on now. 76, but still do it.
you got it.
Or 67.
You polymorph into one of these killer frogs. The remaining one frog that is staring at you is thoroughly confused, but after a moment decides to hop on back down the wall.
They're probably pretty dumb.
I followed them.
You follow him? Okay. So you follow him down the wall. You know, according to the way the spell works, you at least get that kind of capability. So you follow the frog. All of the frogs that have been released from the temple are sort of milling around aimlessly now that things have quieted for a moment. You see one of the priests walk out. He holds his hand up and tells them, "Home, children." His ring glints, and all of the frogs start to, move back into the temple.
I act
Can
like
I-
one of them.
Can I shoot that priest? Or is he
You
too
can.
close to the opening of the temple?
He's making the bad frogs go away.
Otter Eden.
Don't shoot the man who's making the bad frogs
Okay,
go away.
he was too close to
find
the front
out.
of the
He
temple.
just stepped out, kind of.
Yeah.
God damn! I could see his shadow
Yeah.
cast on the ground.
So the frogs are all heading for this giant statue at the far end of the temple
Right.
that looks like a large, bog standard frog. Like, it's not anthropomorphized or anything. It's just a really big freaking frog. And there is a dais that the frog is sitting on, and part of it's open. Part of the stairs are open, and there seems to be a shaft. The lead frogs are starting to hop down
There's
the
always
shaft.
a shaft. There's always a shaft.
It's usually Richard Roundtree.
Can you dig it?
Dude,
Is
you
there anybody
damn
else
right.
in the courtyard I can nail with my load?
All right. So as I said, the
Watch
courtyard
out.
has
I'm gonna talk
cleared.
about shaft.
That's one bad.
So I'm going to run over to another ballista.
Okay. So you're gonna go try to find one where you can see the other group, or
Oh yeah, I'm going to run on the other side of the back of the temple.
you run around back of the temple.
Yeah.
So as you're moving, you see the trapdoor open on the tower that you're headed towards, and some guys start climbing out, looking around.
No problem. I just run up. I'm just going.
All right.
Fuck them up.
Okay. So you're a 10th level
Oh yeah,
fighter.
man. I haven't even opened up the camel whoop ass yet.
So each of these guys are nothing to you. So you get to roll an attack on each of them.
All right. Boom. 14.
They are armor class 5, so that's a hit.
Boom, boom and 20.
That's a hit. Now there's 2 more.
You do
Go ahead
crits?
and there's no official rule for crits.
I missed one.
Oh.
And
Could be homebrew.
so I missed
Armor
one.
class 5.
that's
So
good.
3 of them are hit.
Yeah.
All right, roll damage. Remember, you get your damage bonus of plus 3.
And now
That's
you-
almost going to guarantee these guys are dead. D8 plus
D8.
3.
6,
Dead,
7,
dead,
7.
dead. So these 3 bog standard soldiers come climbing up, and you're just like, die, die, hey you, die.
I stabbed one. I kicked one down in the hole, so he falls down. And someone climbing up.
All right. So that last one that you missed, he
Yeah.
got hit with the body of a compatriot and fell back into the tower. He's
Okay.
not any threat for at least a round.
All right.
So you take these guys out. Looking across the wall, you can see the other party, but they didn't see you yet. They're moving up the wall towards the gatehouse because that's where the trouble was coming from a minute ago.
Right.
So they're not paying you any attention. They're moving up the wall.
Can I see where the engineer is?
the engineer.
Where did you go? You
I
said
went-
you were heading back to the gatehouse.
Yes, I want to get inside the gatehouse and.
So do I see him up on the
Party
top of the
favors.
gatehouse trying, or does he was on that? No, he was nearby.
No, he was on the top of the wall.
Yeah, so I can maybe see him
Last
go
you
in and-
last you saw, he was heading back for the gatehouse from the
That's
ballista.
not good. He does. But does he? Do you see the people in the courtyard coming towards the?
They're not in the courtyard. They're coming down the top of the wall.
Oh, man.
No. I should be fine. So what I'm doing in the gatehouse is I'm going to grab the barrel of pitch,
Yes.
and on the doorway leading into the gatehouse, I am going to pour the entire barrel of pitch out onto the castle wall, and see how they like walking through hot pitch.
Okay. That's
you Goebbels?
No,
Okay.
I'm just highly effective.
Yeah.
I am. How do they say? I am the balls to the wall.
Put
how
on
do you
another.
do that? How is this effective? Balls to the wall. But I am.
I think it's just part of a general hella fucking balls to the wall. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genau.
Yeah.
So yes, I am the balls to the wall, and I am seeing how they are walking through this hot pitch.
All right, so you spread the hot pitch along the top of the wall.
Mhm.
As they approach the nearest of the towers, they spot the flaming pitch and stop. Like they don't know